I ran into a former hedge fund, a very well-known hedge fund guy, without giving away his identity. He said something to me, and he said he was talking about the economy. He doesn't understand why I backed Bernie Sanders. Doesn't understand our view of economics. And he looks at me, he goes, I just think by the time 2020 happens, people are just going to feel like the economy is better. And I said, well, but they don't, and they don't now, and they didn't during Obama, and clearly there was a retaliation. He goes, no, but it's just getting better. And this is before the stock market crash, to be fair. Mm-hmm. I said, well, this seems to be based on your view of what the economy is. The economy to you might feel better because you're able to take out money from wherever you're liquid, or you have you can take out loans. But to the average person, it doesn't feel better because even if they have a job, they're not able to to get access to the same type of finances that you are. But fundamentally, I just couldn't understand how he couldn't see it. And so I guess my question is, what you're describing with MMT, to me, it seems logical, and it actually works in favor of a lot of Wall Street executives, but and maybe even Republicans, if they're concerned with the deficit and if they're concerned with spending, if they have this basic understanding that of the economy the way that you look at it. Why do you think they're unable to switch their brains and kind of open it up a little bit and see things through this lens?
I mean, I think that we could look at what Republicans have done, both with the tax cuts and with the $300 billion or so in spending, and say they seem to kind of get MMT, right? I mean, you could make that argument. Now, this is not how my colleagues and I, the scholars that have produced the literature that's now known as MMT. These are not the policies that we would have implemented, but it is the case that, it's expansionary fiscal policy. They're cutting taxes and increasing government spending, and they're hoping that they're doing it in such a way that they're going to generate 3% growth. That's their target, right? That's the number that the White House and the administration keep touting. We need 3%. We need 3%. So, it sounds to me like what this person you're not naming is trying to say is that this is going to work, and that people are going to start feeling better as a result of this. Now, Democrats could employ the insights of MMT and say, because we understand that we have a sovereign currency and that we are not like a business and we're not on a gold standard, that we can better fund education and infrastructure and R&D, and we can do programs that Democrats like, and we can improve the growth of the economy, employment, and all those things. So MMT can be deployed for good or evil, so to speak. But it's an interesting question. I'm not entirely convinced that he's wrong in the sense that, every tax cut is going to increase somebody's disposable income, right? So it's true that these tax cuts are disproportionately favor those at the very top. Right. No question about that, right? But when the Joint Committee on Taxation, one of the scorekeeping agencies in D.C., looked at the Republican tax cuts, they said in every decile of the income distribution, people will, on average, see higher take-home pay. Whether you're in the bottom 10% or the top 10% or any 10% in between, there's going to be an average. On average, people are going to take home more money. Right. Now, those at the very top take home a lot more, and those at the very bottom take home a little bit more. You might have seen, I'm sure you did, the Paul Ryan deleted tweet about the
$1.50,
about $1.50, right? $1.50 or whatever. But people are going to notice something, and how much they notice and how much better it makes them feel. And then on the other hand, how much do their healthcare premiums go up? How much do the loss of other deductions and so forth hurt them? On balance, I don't know what's going to happen.